Audit them, the one who encourages you to audit them. Alrighty, we have a reading here tonight. We're going to be reviewing the Local Records Act of Illinois. Let's see if we could zoom in here. Testing, testing, audio clear. Hello there, Jenny. Friend from across the pond. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's just wait for a few people to get in here. This should be a very important study. Clear, and we are here. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Local Records Act. This is from the Illinois compiled statutes. However, it's similar in any other state. We need to focus on the language here because it's very powerful and important. Empowerful, the new word of the night. Alrighty. Anyhow, 50 ILCS 2051. This act may be cited as the Local Records Act. Here we go, beginning. Here we go, beginning. Let's zoom in here. I got inspired here. Just left the room from Tribe. He did a reading. And it's always about knowledge. Always going to be about knowledge. Anyhow, guys, here, come on. Let's get right to it. Alrighty. So, this act declares Section 205.2. This act declares that a program for the efficient and economical management of local records will promote economy and efficiency. This is like the big brother of FOIA here. In the day-by-day record-keeping activities of local governments and will facilitate and... Let me slow you guys down. Let me zoom out here. Make sure you guys got this on the screen. Oh, okay. Let me adjust this. Alrighty. So these are the words that I use in my day-to-day package, and just that it's in these words here when I got inspired to read this earlier, and look at what it says here. Let's read that one over. Section 205.2 ILC 50 ILCS 205.2 Section 2. This act, hey, IDAC News, how's it going? This act declares that a program for the efficient and economical management of local records will promote economy and efficiency in the day-by-day record-keeping activities of local governments and will facilitate and expedite government operations. This is sad and sickening. This is disturbing. This is disturbing because it empowers the people and the people are not using the power. So it's disturbing. Hello there, nephew. Guys, please make sure you hit the thumb up upon entry. Knowledge is the answer. Knowledge is the answer. Let's go ahead and move forward here. Section 3. Well, let me read that one more time in case you guys are not clear here. 50 ILCS 205 Section 2. This act declares that a program for efficient and economical management of local records will promote economy and efficiency in the day-by-day record-keeping activities of local governments, and will facilitate and expedite governmental operations. Let's move forward here. Section 3, except where the context indicates otherwise, the terms used in this act are defined as follows. So here's definitions here. This is the big brother of FOIA. It is. Agency means any court. Oh, that's cute. Here the fuck we go. Excuse my English, not French. Because court is not subject to FOIA. Or as a matter of fact, this is the little brother. Local Records Act. Let me continue here. The court is not subject to FOIA. However, there's language in the Local Record Act on how the courts have to behave. So let me continue. Agency means any court. And all parts, right? Boards, bureaus, commissions, like public body, of any county, municipal corporation, or political subdivision. Beautiful. Archivist means the Secretary of the State. Yes, indeed. Archivist means the Secretary of the State born digital. Or, I'm sorry, born digital electronic material. Born digital electronic material. Hey, Bicycle. Hey, Sheila. How's it going? Diesel, Nate. Lightning, Teresa, hello there. Born digital electronic material means electronic material created in digital form rather than converted from print or analog form to digital form, right? So let's read that again. Born digital electronic material, that's probably like historical stuff, means electronic material created in digital form. Oh no, that's not historic. In digital form rather than converted by print. Okay, beautiful. That ain't no problem. So that's BDEM. BDEM. Alrighty. Commission. The definition of commission means a local records commission. Beautiful. In this act. Court means a court other than the Supreme Court. Oh my God. So everything other than the Supreme Court. Well, in this land. That's good. That's good. Digitized electronic material, DEM, means electronic material converted from print or analog to digital form. That's a good one. Digitized electronic material. Officer means an elected or appointed official of a court, county, municipal corporation, or political subdivision. So officer means any elected or appointed official. Okay, yeah. FOIA officer is the usually someone who's elected or appointed. Let's go ahead and carry on here. Alrighty. Let's see here. Can't see the top of your screen. Let's see. Alrighty, commission officer, public record. Here's the good part. Alrighty, public record. This should be the same similar language from the FOIA Act. Public record means. Let me zoom out. It's not showing. Yeah, let me zoom out. Here we go. Alrighty, public record mean any book, paper, maps, photograph, born digital electronic material, digitized electronic material with a combination of digitized and born digital material, or other official documentary material, regardless of physical form or characteristic, made, produced, executed, or received by any agency or officer. This is the same language from the FOIA Act. Pursuant to the law or in connection with the transaction of public business, and preserved or appropriate for preservation by such agency or officer. Preservation by such agency or offer. or any successor thereof as evidence of the organization, evidence of an organization, function, policies, decisions, procedures, or other activities thereof, or because of the informational data contained therein. Library and museum material made or acquired and preserved solely for reference or exhibit purposes. That's fucking amazing. This is how I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have to knock hard on the fucking door. Excuse my English, it's not French. This statute here is the statute I've been looking for to go knock hard on the fucking door. Look at what this says again. What is a public record? This doesn't say this in the FOIA Act. This doesn't say this highlighted piece in the FOIA Act. See, that said zoom in. Alrighty. Let's focus on this one right here. Library and museum material. Well, this is a city hall. It's not a library, nor is it a museum. Well, wait a minute. Let me finish here, Madam Clerk. Library and museum material made or acquired and preserved solely for reference or exhibition purposes. Okay, so I'm standing in the city hall. Here's the city hall of Bolingbrook. They have 9,000 items on display. Some from Pakistan, some from India, some from the local township. So this means that according to the Local Record Act definition, ma'am, this is under a public record. This is a public record. This is gonna give me the opportunity to go knock hard on the fucking door. Let's go ahead and continue. Extra copies of documents preserved only for... So what else? What else is a public record? Audit them. What else is a public record? Okay, here it is. Extra copies of documents preserved only for... What's this? Convenience of reference. Let's think about this one again. Let's think about this one again. Extra copies of documents preserved only. And you see, they use the word preserved. What is the word preserved telling us? That now we have to look through the Local Records Act, which means destruction of public records. So they have to preserve, but they have to preserve for a specific time period. After a specific time period, they could destroy the record with permission from the state. So let's focus on the emphasis here. Preserved. We'll get into the Local Record Act at a later. The State Records Act at a later time. Okay. Only for the convenience of reference. Sure. Yep. Copies. Yellow page copy. And stocks of publications and of processed documents are not included within the definition of public records. Oh, let me slow you down. Extra copies and documents preserved only for convenience of reference and stocks of publications and of processed documents are not included within the definition of public. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Carry on. Paper copies. Paper copies of registration records as defined. So what's registration records? Aren't those registration of vehicles? What does that mean? Paper copies of registration records. Does that mean registration of vehicle? Let's carry on. As defined in Section 1 of the Library Records Confidentially Act, never mind, shall not be considered public records once the information contained in the paper registration records is transferred into a secure electronic format and checked for accuracy. Alrighty, let's go ahead and carry on here. Let's zip through this. This is not too long here. We'll zip through it real quick. This is not legal advice and all of the above. Do more reading at home. 50 ILCS 2053A reports. Let's begin. Classes in session. Reports and records of the obligation. Boys and girls, classes in session. Reports and records of the obligation, receipt, and use of public funds of the clerk of the circuit court of the county, Cook County. Units of local government and school districts, including certified audits, management letters, and other audit reports made by the Auditor General, county auditors, or other officers, or by licensed certified public accountants permitted to perform audits under the Illinois Public Accounting Act, and presented to the corporate authorities or boards of the units of local government. Are public records available for inspection by the public? What does this say again? Units of the local government are public records available for inspection by the public. These records shall be kept at the official place of business of the clerk of the circuit court of Cook County, and each unit of local government and school district, or at a designated place of business of the unit. I'm going to slow you guys down. Or district. That means I'm going to read it over. These records shall be available for public inspection during regular office hours, except when immediate use by persons exercising official duty with them books. No problem. This means that we're going to upgrade the clipboard. This is what this means. Look what it says again here. These records shall be kept. This is why we're gonna talk about Auditor Shield fairly in the foreseeable future. These records shall be kept at the official places. So what records got to be kept? Let's read this over. Reports, they're saying records, obligation, receipts of the clerk, school district, public accounts. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and carry on here. Alrighty. These records shall be available for public inspection during regular office hours, except when immediate. Yep. So the person in charge of such records may require a notice in writing to be submitted 24 hours prior to inspection, and may require that such notice specify which records are to be inspected. Oh, that's cute. You see, this is not the FOIA Act, so they have permission to say that. Nothing in this section shall require units of local government and school districts to invade or assist in invasion of any person's right to privacy. Oh, that's a good one. Nothing in this section shall require units of local government and school districts to invade or assist in the invasion of any person's right to privacy. That's a fucking good one. Because now when you're inquiring, they're gonna say, okay, you gotta put an appointment 24 hours. Here's the statute says. Well, we need your full name and your address. Well, that clears it up. Alrighty, arrest records and reports under 3B. When any individual is arrested, the following information must be made available to the news for inspection and copying. Oh, that's great. Information that identifies the individual, including the name, age, address, and photograph when and if available. Number 2, information detailing any charges relating to the arrest. Number 3, the time and location of arrest. Number 4, the name of the investigating or arresting law enforcement agency. Number 5, blank. That's a good one for you, T-Dotter. Go look for the original copy. Number 5 is blank. Number 6, if the individual is incarcerated, the time, the date, and the individual was received, discharged, or transferred for the arresting agency. Okay, good. The information, so now we're going to look at a police report, an arrest report, and make sure. This is what we're going to do now. This is the new upscale here. We're going to reach out to the little municipal police stations in Illinois, the ones in, in Roar and South, really Northwest, Southeast, the whole jurisdictional line, the little small police stations. We're going to request their arrest reports. We're going to review their arrest reports, and we're going to make sure that their arrest reports has every detail required on this statutory requirement through the Local Records Act, specifically under Section 3B. Okay, there you go. So now when members start becoming part of the auditor's shield, they're now going to have tasks like this, where now they're informed and trained to inquire. They're trained to think to be able to think for themselves. Alrighty, let's go ahead and carry on. The information required by this subsection must be made available to news inspection copying as soon as practical, but in no event shall the time exceed 72 hours from the arrest. Oh, that's another good one. How long, officer? How long have you withheld this information? Well. It says no later than 72 hours. Beautiful. The information described, and this is how we find out what's been happening and find out what's going to come in the foreseeable future and happen. So we have to inquire. The information described in paragraph 3, 4, 5, and 6, however, may be withheld. So the information described in paragraphs 3, 4, 5, and 6. So number 3 is the time and location. Number 4 is the name of the investigating. Number 6, okay, may be withheld. Good. Withheld if it is determined that the disclosure would, that's probably of juvenile, interfere with pending or actually and reasonably, now they're talking about exemptions from FOIA, reasonably contemplated law enforcement proceedings conducted by any law enforcement or correctional agency. 2, number, endanger the life or physical safety of law enforcement or correctional personnel, or any other reason. See, when they're working on an investigation and they got a squad car outside, and you send a request for the vehicle log, they know, well, he's in an investigation, and during this time, here's the exemption. Sometimes you gotta wait 6 months, a year later, and then send over that info. Let's go ahead and carry on. Number 3, what's this? Compromise the security of any correctional facility. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't release this information, or I'm sorry, we can't include this information because it might jeopardize it might compromise security measures. So we're going to withhold on this specific case, on this specific arrest report under these exigent circumstances. Alrighty. C. For the purposes of this section, the term news media means personnel of a newspaper or other periodical issued at regular intervals, whether in print or electronic format, a news service, whether in print or electronic format, a radio station, a television station, a television network, a community antenna television service, or a person, watch this, or a corporation. So this is telling us news media is a person. I've been knowing this. But this just proves from the actual act how powerful it is for the people to stand up on what they believe in. If he claims he's news, yes, he's news. Why? Because he's going by your own definition. He's a person, right? So, and that's also for the assessing, well, we'll carry on. Or corporation news media is or corporation engaged in making news reels or other motion picture news for public showing. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and take note. Let me go ahead and take note of these two statutes. So we're going to say, let's see what we're going to say here. Alrighty. So first, let's make note of the we could say 205. Let's say 205 3B. Well, 205 3B C. So 3B/C. Alrighty, beautiful. So with that being said, each law enforcement or correctional agency may charge fees for arrest records, but in no instance may the fee exceed the actual cost of copying and reproduction. The fees may not include the cost of the labor used to reproduce the arrest record. Amazing. The provisions of this subsection. So what would they charge for then? The provisions of this section do not supersede the confidentiality provisions for arrest records of Juvenile Court 87. All information, section F, all information including photographs made available under this section is subject to the provisions of section, what's this? 2QQQ of the Consumer Fraud and Deceptive Business Practices. Made available under subject. Oh, we got to read that one at a later time. Continue here. Severance agreements due to sexual harassment and sexual discrimination. When a unit of local government, school district, community college district, or other local taxing body enters a severance agreement with an employee or contractor because the employee or contractor was found to have engaged in sexual harassment or sexual discrimination as defined by the Illinois Human Rights Act of 1964, the public body shall publish on its internet website, if it is maintained, and make available to the news media for inspection and copying within 72 hours, remember that number, of the taxing body's approval of the severance agreement, the following information. Alrighty, beautiful. The full name, title of the person receiving payment under the severance agreement, total amount of payment, that the employee or contractor was found to have engaged in sexual harassment or sexual discrimination as applicable, the date and time and location of the meeting at which the taxing body approved the severance agreement. For purposes of this subsection A, news media means person of, okay, we read that. It tells us again here. Alrighty, the information required to be provided by this section may be withheld if it is determined that the disclosure would interfere with a pending, alrighty, we know that, exemptions. Interfere with pending or actually and reasonably contemplated legal and administrative proceedings instigated by complainants of sexual harassment or discrimination at issue, including but not limited to proceedings under the Illinois Human Rights Act title of the Civil Rights of 1963. Alrighty. Section C. No unit of local government, school district, community college district, or other local taxing body shall incur liability as a result of its compliance with this section, except for willful or wanton misdemeanor. Wanton. Section D. The requirements of subsection A of this section do not supersede the confidentiality provisions of the severance agreement. Section E. Nothing in this section shall limit disclosure of the public records required to be disclosed under this Act or the Freedom of Information Act. Nothing in this section shall limit disclosure, right, of the public records required to be disclosed under this Act or the Freedom of Information Act, except as otherwise provided in subsection B. All public records made or received by, under the authority or coming into the custody, that's beautiful, control or possession of any officer or agency shall not be, here's the beautiful part, multated, destroyed, it shall not be, transferred, removed or otherwise damaged, transferred, removed or otherwise damaged or disposed of, in whole or in part, except as provided by law. Yeah, oh yeah, sure. Except as provided by law. No, you got a duty to transfer this over. Yep. Any person who knowingly, here's the frightening part. Here is the frightening part. Since it's near Halloween, this is the Halloween season, here's the frightening part. Any person knowingly, without lawful authority, this is fucking scary here and frightening. Any person who knowingly, without lawful authority and with the intent to defraud any party, public officer, or entity. Here's the sad and sickening, disturbing part here. Alters, destroys, defaces, removes, conceals any public record, commits a class 4 felony. This is sickening, sad, sickening, frightening. Let's read this one over. All public records made or let's make sure that you guys can hear. You keep the comments stopped coming in. Let me refresh my browser here. Let me see here. Alrighty. Okay. All public records made or received by or under the authority of or coming into custody, control or possession, it's in the control or it's in the possession of any officer or agency shall not be mutilated. We gotta define mutilated. Mutilated, probably destroy. Mutilated.
Violent and disfiguring injury.
Mutilated.
Here's the definition of mutilate. Inflict a
Oh,
violent
mutilate.
and disfiguring
What's that?
injury.
Mutilated. Mutilated. Let me see. Let me verify. Yeah, or mutilated. Okay, well, we gotta look that up in Black's Law. Anyway, this is okay. So now this is what I want to mention. What does conceal mean? Watch this. Conceal.
Here's the definition of conceal. Keep from sight. Hide.
Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. This is something that I mentioned about when my channel first started up, about a year later actually. I mentioned this portion. I skimmed through the State Records Act, and this paragraph is in the State Records Act as well. This is the Local Record Act, but this paragraph is also in the State Record Act. And now the clipboard has been updated. Why? Because here's the next gig. Here's the next gig. When you go to a Sheila says, Mr. Audit does all this info help get info on Arkansas. Sheila, this is, of course, it's knowledge similar to Arkansas, but get info, bad doings. You gotta be more in depth. You gotta Sheila, act like or just type in the comment section exactly what you're looking for, please. So when they're withholding Section 4 from being prominently displayed in Illinois, are they concealing a public record? Yes, they are. They're concealing their total amount of operating budget, their block diagram. They're concealing their approximate number of full-time and part-time employees. Oh, but it's on the website. This says shall also. So here I am at the public body, and you're concealing it in front of my face. Your purpose, the about section of this township, is being concealed. And what does conceal mean? Watch this. Conceal.
Here's the definition of conceal. Keep from sight. Hide.
Conceal means to keep from sight. What the hell do you think the board is up for? Section 4. Yeah, I gotta push this further. I really have to push this further. Ma'am, not only are you in breach of 2 items now, going on 3. Well, private person arrest is going to be 3. You're going on item 4, sir and Madam Clerk. You're going on item 4 now. You're in breach of 50 ILCS 2054. And here this happens to be Section 4. Unfucking believable. This is Section 4 of the Local Record Act. All being powered. It's washing hand in hand with Section 4 of the FOIA Act. The Local Record Act, like I said, he's the big brother of the FOIA Act. So look what it says here. When you walk in and they're hiding, they're withholding from sight something that has to be easily be seen, prominently displayed, and they're giving you a cock rock about it. They're giving you a muck rock about it. And they want to call the police and triple and quadruple down. So now you got the police there. These thieves, these government employee bad actor are in breach of a class 4 felony. There goes 4 4s in a row. Section 4 from the FOIA Act, Section 4 from the Local Record Act, and a class 4 felony of a public official who wants to conceal. This is disturbing. This is disturbing. And let's see, the comments are oh, okay, I see. So with that being said, guys, this is unbelievable. Now we gotta push this further. We got to push this further. So here's the gig. Here's the lineup. Here's the real lineup. You go into a city hall. You have the right to look at Section 4 in Illinois. Section 4 means that any agency has to prominently display 10 items, 10 identifying items. One of them is the total amount of budget. One of them is commissioners. One of them is block chart. One of them is the description of the agency that you're standing in. These have to be up on the wall. You walk up to, here's a synopsis. You walk up to any person that's sitting at the counter, the reasonable thing to do. You ask them, could you guide me to where these? You don't know what they know and what they don't know. You don't want to assume if they know what you're going to ask or inquire in, or you don't. So you ask anyway. You would think an honorable government would know what their about section is. So you ask the young man or the person at the desk, hi, could you guide me to where the purpose of this agency is prominently displayed? The employee becomes cocky. They escalate the situation for an unknown reason. They call the police. So now let me tell you what happened there. They pick up the phone, they call the police. What happened there is they committed misdemeanors, and they committed a felony in front of the police. Well, first they caused the misdemeanor first, and then when the police officer comes in, now the police officer is aware that they're in breach of, they're committing a felony by concealing and making a F show. So let me break it down for you guys. This is very powerful. Like I said, you walked into the agency, you asked them if they can guide you to where their purpose is, their mission statement is prominently displayed. Instead, they pick up the phone. They lie to the police to the effect that there's no emergency being committed, has been committed, or is about to, in the commission of a crime. So now they're in breach of disorderly conduct, Section 4, and also Section 4 of disorderly conduct. Holy moly. All these Section 4s happen to be Section 4s, and they all stand with each other. So watch this. Now, Section 4 of disorderly conduct specifies when they make bogus claims over the phone, in layman term. So now they committed a misdemeanor. A disorderly conduct is a Class C misdemeanor. Also, well, ma'am, now I informed you that you called the police, you lied to the police, there's no emergency here. I simply asked the guy at the front counter if he can guide me to where these records are prominently displayed. He went to the back and you guys picked up the phone and called the police. So now, what was the reason why you guys called the police? You don't have no crime being committed. You committed a disorderly. You're in breach of Class C misdemeanor. Because you done that in front of me, because you committed an offense in front of me as a private person, I'm going to put you in private person arrest, and we're going to sort this out when the police get here. Okay, good. Police is on the way. Employees hiding in the back, no problem. I'm not going to apprehend them or touch them, but I declare that they committed an offense in front of a private person. So now they're under private person arrest till the police gets here, and we'll sort it out. Now the police shows up on the street, on the scene. He says, what's going on here? I tell the police officer, these folks seems like, I'm not sure, you want to find out from them? Oh yeah, and he was recording and this and that, so we called the police. So now I explain to the police, these folks I had to put them in private person arrest because they committed a disorderly conduct in front of me. As a matter of fact, before the disorderly conduct, because I didn't hear the call yet, I'm going to mention to them what I'm there for, Section 4. they're going to tell me the gibberish shit. They're not interested in all that fuckery. I'm going to tell them, okay, now you committed an offense in front of me. I have reason to believe, on top of that, I have reason to believe you committed disorderly conduct by calling someone behind closed doors. I have reason to believe, but also you're also in official misconduct, failing to perform a mandatory duty. Not only that, now when the police gets here, now I'm going to inform the police to read the statute with me. Why is my purpose here? Checking on section 4 to see if these records are prominently displayed. If the police officer is aware that the statute says, yes, it shall be prominently displayed, and he take my side of the story, then I'm informing him that these folks are also in a breach of section 50 ILCS 2054, which indicates that these folks are forbidden from concealing any public record commits a class 4 felony. Officer, I'm going to make this clear for you now. The statute here says these records shall be furnished immediately. I'm going to give you two options, officer. You sweet talk the employee in the background to do the right thing. Behind closed curtains, you sweet talk the employee to do the right thing. Now that you're aware of the statute, you tell him comply. This does say immediately. Go ahead and make it immediately for him, clerk. If the police officer refuses to do such, if the employee refuses to do such, now I'm going to inform the police officer, you are a witness to concealment of a public record that shall be furnished immediately and prominently displayed. Now, I'm going to ask you to arrest this employee. Oh, no, you don't want to? Okay, good. Mark it all up. Carry on. Mark it all up and carry on. So, this package here is... Again, listen to the statutes. Disorderly conduct is under Section 4. FOIA Act is under Section 4. Local Record Act is under Section 4. And what was the fourth one? Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and carry on here. This is amazing, man. This is amazing. We're going to make an outline of how in-depth this surely is, this truly is, because I don't think you guys comprehend what I'm telling you here in the in-depthness. If there's reasonable and honorable prosecutors, they will prosecute these disturbing employees. They'll first try to sweet talk, because you gotta try to solve issues before it makes it to the courtroom, right? So, okay, officer, go sweet talk the employee in the background and do the right thing. Because my side of the story is this claim right here. And if there's honorable prosecutors, they'll take them. Court records filed. Let's go ahead and carry on. Court records filed with the clerk circuit court shall be destroyed in accordance with the Supreme Court's general administrative order. Record keeping in the circuit courts, the clerk of the circuit court shall notify the Supreme Court in writing, specifying the case records or other documents which intend to destroy. The Supreme Court shall review the schedule of items to be destroyed and notify the appropriate local records commission of the court's intent to destroy such records. The local records commission, within 90 days after receipt of the Supreme Court's notice, may undertake to photograph, micrographs, or digitize electronically any or all such records and documents, or in alternative may transport such original records to the state's archivists or other storage locations under its supervision. The archivists may accept for deposit in the state's archives or regional depositories official papers, drawings, maps, writings, and records of every description of counties. Oh yeah, they got that on their website. They got that on their website. That's a beautiful one. I'm gonna need that in hardcover. Maps, writings, records, descriptions of counties, municipal corporations, publics, political subdivisions, and courts of the state. You could go to the Secretary of State website and you could find maps of all townships in Illinois, of all municipal corporations, all counties. It's amazing. It's not a third party or nothing. It's the direct source. So the officer or clerk depositing such records may, upon request, obtain from the archivist without charge a certified copy of reproduction of any specific record, paper or document, which such record, paper or document is required for public use. Hey, do we still got people in the comment section? I don't see any comments. Could somebody type a comment, make sure that there's no errors? Sometimes there's an error. I'm unable to read any comments. Section B, upon request from a chief of police or county sheriff or state's attorney, if person has been arrested for a criminal offense and an investigation reveals that the person's arrest was not in fact the individual the arresting officer believed him or her to be, the law enforcement agency whose officers made the arrest shall delete or retract the arrest records of the person whom the investigation revealed as not the individual the arresting officer believed him or her to be in this subsection. That's a good one too. Alrighty, I'm starting to think that the comments are not showing for some reason, guys. So I'm probably gonna have to reset the stream. Could somebody confirm with me you do hear the audio? Alrighty. Arrest records as in 3B, law enforcement agency means an agency of local government which is vested by law or ordinance which the duty to maintain public order and to enforce criminal laws or ordinances. Audio good. Oh, great. Section 5. Archivists shall be local record advisor and shall appoint such assistants as necessary to assist local governments in carrying out the purpose of this act. Section 6. For those agencies comprising counties of 3 million or more inhabitants, or located in or conterminous, I'm not sure, which any such county or a majority of whose inhabitants reside in such county, this act shall be administered by local records commission consisting of the president of the county board of the county wherein the records are kept, the mayor of most populous city is in such county, the state's attorney in such county, the county comptroller, the state archivist, and the executive director of the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. The president of the county board shall be the chairman of the commission. Oh, that's a cute one. So a commission having these heads of the public body, and the president of the county board shall be the chairman of the commission. That's a fucking good one. Let me go ahead and take a digital image of this one as well. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and continue here. Put this back on the screen. Alrighty. For all other agencies, this act shall be administered by a local record commission consisting of a chairman of a county board, who shall be chairman of the commissions, a mayor or president of a city, village, incorporated town, a county auditor, and a state's attorney, all of whom shall be appointed by the governor, the state archivist, and the executive director of the Abraham Lincoln Library Museum, a member of either a commission, designate or substitute either commission, and may employ such technical, professional, or and clerical assistance as are necessary. Either commission shall meet upon call or its chairman. Section 7. We got a couple more pages, guys. Let's zip through it. Disposition rules. Except as otherwise provided by law, no public record shall be disposed of by any officer or agency unless written approval of the appropriate local records commission is first obtained. That's a fucking good one. The commission shall issue regulations which shall be binding on all such officers. Such regulations shall establish procedures for complying and submitting to the commission's lists and schedules of public records proposed for disposal. Procedures for the physical destruction or other disposition of such public records, procedures for the management and preservation of electronically generated and maintained records, and standards for the reproduction of such public records by photograph, microphotograph processes, or digitized electronics. Such standards shall relate to the quality of the film to be used, preparation of the public records for filming or electronic conversion, proper identification manner on such records so that an individual document or series of documents can be located on the film or digitized electronic form with responsible facility, and that the copies contain all significant record detail to the end that the copies will be adequate. Oh my god, that's a good one. Because they print up shit that's not even legible. Any public record may be reproduced in a microfilm or digitized. Well, let me take a screenshot of this. Alrighty, let's see. Take a photo. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and carry on here. Alrighty. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this session here, because knowledge is the key to success. Imagine all the assessors in the background who don't like my channel and they hate watching my channel, but they want to gain info. Instead of gaining gossip information about my fingernails, the dirt under my pinky fingernail, they're gossiping about my yellow t-shirt. Instead of that, they're actually learning something, what we're looking at here. Okay, to the end that the copies will be adequate. Any public record may be reproduced in microfilm or digitized. The agency may dispose of the original or reproduced record, providing that the reproduction process forms a durable medium that accurately and legibly reproduces the original records in all detail, that does not permit additions, deletions, or change to the original document's image. This is beautiful, because there's the town of Schiller Park I went to. They had their pages cut off on the side. So what they did was they scanned the original page, but when they scanned it, whatever employee put the page in the scanner, he didn't properly align it, and it was off a little bit, so it cut off some of the wordings. Instead of saying the word requester, it said the word equester. On top of their mission statement was not even legible. So here they go, under this section, they're failing on 2 points on section 50 ILCS 2057. Man, I'm telling you folks, I'm going to upgrade the clipboard, and you guys are not going to believe the scale of auditing that's going to be upcoming next. It's probably going to be season 3.0. We talked about season 2.0. It came to completion. We might be moving in season 3.0. Let's carry on here. If electronic, alrighty, if electronic, that are retained in trustworthy manner, so that the records and the information contained in it of the records are accessible and usable for subsequent reference at all times, while the information must be retained. The reproduction is retained, and for prescribed retention period 3, the commission is notified when the original records is disposed of, and also when the reproduced record is disposed of. Such regulation shall also provide that the state archivist may retain any records which the commission has authorized to be destroyed, where they have a historical value, and that the state archivist may deposit them in the state archives, state historical library, or a universal library, university library, or with a historical society, museum, or library. Section 8. Any such reproduction shall be deemed to be an original public record for all purposes, including introduction in evidence in all courts or before administrative agencies. A transcript, exemplification, or certified copy of such reproduction shall, for all purposes recited herein, be deemed to be a transcript, exemplification, or certified copy of the original public record. Let's define exempt. Well, that means exempt. Exemplification. Oh, example. They mean example. Exempt. Example. Never mind. Alrighty. Exemplification. So, exemplification. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and carry on here. Section 9. Non-record materials, or materials not included within the definition of records as contained in this act, may be destroyed at any time by the agency in possession of such materials without the prior approval of the commission. The commission may formulate advisory procedures and interpretations to guide in disposition of non-record materials. So what the hell would be a non-record material? What is it? Air? Thin air? Stacy wrote down your public record request. Now that's a public record. Let's go ahead and carry on here. Section 10, which is 50 ILCS 20510. The head of each agency, that's a beautiful one, shall submit to the appropriate commission, in accordance with the regulations of the commission, lists or schedules of public records in his custody. That's a good one. That are not needed in the transaction of current business, and that do not have sufficient administrative, legal, or fiscal value to warrant their further preservation. I wonder what those will be. The head of the agency shall also submit lists or schedules proposing the length of the time each record's salaries warrants retention or administrative, legal, or fiscal purposes after it's been received by the agency. The Commission shall determine what public records have no administrative, legal, research, or historical value and should be destroyed or otherwise disposed of, and shall authorize destruction or other disposal thereof. No public record shall be destroyed or otherwise disposed of by any local records commission or its own initiative, nor contrary to the law. This section shall not apply to court records as governed by Section 4 of this Act. Well, we already remember what Section 4 is, the fucking good one. Concealing and destroying and all that shit. Okay, Section 4. Where was 4? Here it is, right here. Section 4, yep, concealing, Class 4 felony. Yes, it is. Alrighty. That's amazing, man. So we are now going to Section 11. But real quick, let's go back to Section 4. And I want you guys to take a screenshot of this one. This is a good read here. Alrighty, let's carry on here again. Alrighty. Yeah, we gotta make more allies with some prosecutors so they could start prosecuting these government employees. The prosecutor who wants to build allies with the people is the honorable prosecutor. A cop who would lock up a bad cop, basically. But you know, that's almost unheard of. Section 11. Both commissions, with the assistance of the Secretary of State and state archivists, shall establish a system for the protection and preservation of essential local records necessary for the continuity of governmental functions in the event of emergencies arising from enemy action or natural disaster, and for the reestablishment of local governments therein. That's why they're saying they can't get away with paper. Or, you know, either or, whatever. Section 12. Both commissions shall, with the assistance of the Secretary of State and archivists, determine what records are essential for emergency government operations through conclusion with all branches of government, state agencies, and with the Illinois Management Agency, Emergency Agency, to determine what records are essential for post-emergency government operation and provide for their protection and preservation, and provide for the security, storage, or relocation of essential local records in the event of the emergency arising from enemy attack or natural disaster. That's a good one. Form up a page. Section 13. In any case where public records have been reproduced by photography, microfilm, or... Oh, keep going. In any case where public records have been reproduced by photograph, First Amendment auditor, or microfilm, or other reproductions or film in accordance with the provisions of this Act, any person or organization shall be supplied with copies of this Act. Oh, that's unbelievable. Any person or organization shall be supplied with copies of such photographs, microfilms, or other reproductions on film upon payment of the required fee to the office having custody of thereof. The fee required to be paid shall not be the actual cost shall be the actual cost of copies plus service fee of 15% of such costs. Alrighty. Section 14. Section 14, Part 5 of this article. Part 5 of Article 9 of the Uniform Commercial Code is subject to the provision of this act. Damn, we gotta look that up. Part 5. So Section 14 of Part 5 of Article 9 of the Uniform Commercial Code. So let's go to the Uniform Commercial Code of Illinois. Uniform Commercial Code, ILCS. Alright, and now let's go to Part 5 and then Section 14. So go to Part 5. I'm on my phone here looking it up. Or I could hit a quick search for Section Sec 14. Alrighty, section. Here we go. So we're under Part 5, which is performance, and now let's go to Section 14. It's 3, 4. Wait a minute here. UCC. ILCS. Well, here, let me do this then. Let me put it up like this. Uniform Commercial Code, Part 5, Section 14. From the Illinois Compiled Statutes. Oh, wow. Obligation of honor. Fraud exception. Alrighty, we'll dig into this at a later time. We'll dig into that at a later time. Alrighty, let's carry on. 14A, procedures for the disposal of election records. The provision of the election code do not supersede the provisions of this act with regard to procedures for the disposal of election records. Local election authorities must comply with the provisions of this act when destroying or disposing of public records. And we're almost finished here with the reading. Section 15. Beginning July 184, the provisions of Section 3A, which 3A was, I think, what was it, arrest records, or was that 3B? 3A of this act, as it relates to the inspection of records, shall apply only as to records and reports prepared or received prior to this date. Records and reports prepared or received on or after 84 shall be covered under the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act. Oh, shit. Okay, great. Internet posting requirement. Oh, here, I forgot. We read this, yeah. Read this a long time ago. Let me pull the screen back up here. Here's a goodie right here. Internet posting requirements. A unit of local government or school district that serves a population of less than 1 million that maintains an internet website other than a social media website or social networking website shall, within 90 days of the effective date of this mandatory act on 98 the General Assembly, post to its website for the current calendar year a mechanism such as a uniform single email address for members of the public to electronically communicate with elected officials of the unit of local governments or school districts unless such officials have an individual email addresses for that purpose. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now this is going to be a big one, because this means sometimes when you go on government websites, they don't have no email to be found nowhere on their website. Nowhere. Here it's saying it's required. So for the purposes of section B, for purposes of this section, internet website shall not include any social media website like Facebook, social networking website, or any other social media presence that is the unit of local government or school district maintains. Section C, a hyperlink to the information required to be posted under this section must be easily accessible from the unit of local governments or school district's homepage. Information required. Easily accessible. Yeah, yeah. This is a good one. The posting, I'm going to spend a whole day auditing the websites one of these days. For the websites for the city halls and the public agencies. And calling them. While I'm calling them, I'm going to inform them of this statute. If I find that they are in the wrong. I'm going to give them 21 days over the phone to fix their website. Show the email. If they don't, that's going to give me a reason to knock on the door. Okay. Section E. No home rule unit may adopt posting requirements that are less restrictive than this section. This section is a limitation under Section I of this Section 6 of this article of the Illinois Constitution, or of the concurrent exercise by home rule units of powers and functions exercised by the state. So with this being said, hey T-Dot, this is a big one, man. Let me read this again. Did someone say website audit? Well, that's what you got to do. You got to pick up the phone and you got to tell them, hey, look, I don't see your email nowhere on this website. Here's what this statute specifies. Again, it says internet posting requirements. This is a requirement. A unit of local government or social districts that serve a population of less than a million. So imagine all these little square towns. They're all under a million. That maintain a website other than a social media website, a .gov website, their directsite.com, maintains a website or social networking website shall, within 90 days of the effective date of this amendatory act, assembly, post to its website. They shall post to its website, required to post to its website for the current calendar year, a mechanism such as a uniform single email address. Well, all that's saying is that, yeah, they have to have a uniform single email address. All that's saying is that they gotta have an email at s.rodriguez at city of Clerkville, Rachel.Patel at cityofclerkville.gov, Rick.Meyer at cityofclerkville.gov. That's all that's saying. It's not saying they have to have their email on the website, but wait a minute, let's continue. For members of the public to electronically communicate with. Yes, the fuck it is. Yes, the fuck it is. Damn. This is big. This is huge. Oh my God. Oh my God. For members of the public to electronically communicate with. Oh, but we don't physically show the email address, but you can fill the box where it says name, number, address, reason, comment. That shall suffice. That shall suffice. Okay, for members of the public to electronically communicate with elected officials of that unit of local government or school district. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll have the emails of just our elected officials. Unless such officials have an individual email address for that purpose. Okay, beautiful. Let's carry on. And we are at the grand finale. Police misconduct records. Oh shit, that's the fuck we need. Notwithstanding any other provision of law to the contrary, all public records and non-public records related to complaints, investigations, and adjudications of police misconduct shall be permanently retained and made not to be destroyed. Okay, great. So they could never, in the name of history, destroy police misconduct records. A police misconduct record, here what they're telling us, shall be a stain to the rest of his career or her career and life. So this means if they destroy misconduct record, that's a felony. That's a class 4F. Okay, great. Anyhow, with that being said, this is what we're going to request when we call these government agencies with oral request obligation. I usually request, yep, I'm calling to submit a request for police use of force records. Sure, sometimes they send me use of force where the criminal is conducting himself in use of force. So, if the criminal is conducting himself and they call it use of force, okay, no, I want to amend my request, Madam Clerk. I'm calling for all police misconduct records in the year of, oh, and here's a good one, T-Dotter. Yep, in the year of 2023, 2022, no problem. But here's another good one. This one would test their response. This is going to test their response. Any or a log of any records destroyed, or what was the other word besides destroyed? Disposed. Yeah, any disposed police misconduct records from the year 2000 to 2010. Right? What do you think of that one, T-Dotter? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any. Or okay, fine, we took record of these, we disposed these, but we took record of it. We thought we could dispose these records, but we still took record of these before they were disposed. That'll be a class 4 felony if a small town did that. So this is a big ticket here. This is a big chicken. Let's take a picture. Like DLZ says, bad chicken. This is a bad chicken. Okay, beautiful. Anyhow, guys, thank you guys all for coming in and being a part of the readings. It's very important to be informed. Anyway, thank you guys so much again for coming in. The one who encourages you to audit them. We are now eligible. We may make a music session in a couple hours. Maybe. We'll see how it goes.